Posture and core. I think those are two great areas to really focus on. So in today's class, you're going to want to make sure to have some light weights close by, a mat, a great disposition, also some water. Take breaks when you need to, and work at a pace that's comfortable to you. But let's get started, simply marching in place. And as you're marching, you know, the class is about posture, so let's talk posture. Shoulders go back and down, as if they're pressing into your back pockets. The minute you get your shoulder blades into your back pockets, your chest rises, which is a good thing. Then the rib cage opens, so I want you to contract the ribs ever so slightly because this truly engages your center and your abdominals. And then go. Now at the same time, you're breathing as you're moving. And as we're marching here, simply take a heel out. The other side. Simply to increase the circulation of our body for what we're about to do next. Now take the arms and reach. And reach. Inhale and exhale. Out to the sides. Out. And again. One more. March in place. And simply walk forward. Tap the toe, walk back. And tap. Pulling in from the center. And tap. One more time. And hold here. Now bring yourself right back down. And let's extend the right heel out. Heel is out into the floor. Bending the left knee and pushing your tailbone back, back, back. You'll feel a stretch in your hamstrings. And then lift up. Deep breath. Exhale. Sit back, keeping this knee right over the ankle. And up. One more. Hold here. Enjoy the stretch. And up. Other side, same thing. Heel comes forward. Bending the right knee and aiming your tailbone back, 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 back. Deep breath. Exhale. One more. And hold. And up. Move the legs around. Now, both feet out. Simply, let's just make a circle with our leg. Up and over. Up and over. Up and over. One more time. And lower the right leg. Now, finding a focal point or holding on to something, bend the right knee back, push the heel away so that you feel the stretch in your quadricep. Hold there, lower the leg, deep breath, and exhale. Let's do that again. Heel goes back and hold, and release. Now the other side, up and over. Up and over. Inhale one way, exhale the other. 3 more. And 2. And 1. Leg comes in. So once again, hold on or find a focal point, bending the right knee and press back, feeling the stretch right in front. Release, deep breath, and exhale. Let's do this again. And release. Okay, I think it's time for us to get started. Actually, let's start with no weight and then we'll add weight. How's that? Both arms come forward. My favorite, retraction. So shoulders are back and down. Now think only shoulder blades. Squeeze them back and together and release. And squeeze back and together and release. Now notice that I'm not opening my arms or bending my elbows. It's simply the shoulders moving back and release. It's as if you're holding a dollar bill in between your shoulder blades and then you let it go. Small bend in the knee. Bracing from your center. Inhale one way, exhale the other. 3 more. And 2. Now 1. Release the arms. Okay, that was called retraction, so remember that. Now let's use our light weights. And you can stay facing me, but I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me a little bit better. Both hips, both feet are hip distance apart. Small bend in the knees. Hinge forward, which means you're bending only from your hips, so you keep neutral spine. So the same exercise we just did. We're here. Squeeze your shoulder blades back and release. Squeeze back and release. Inhale one way, exhale the other. Using your breath, up and release. 4, and 3. Now 2, and 1. Now stay here, tailbone back, elbows to the side, and open out and down, working the back of your shoulders, pulling in from your center. So that means your rib cage is engaged, which now engages your abdominals, and everything pulls in and up towards your spine. We have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now stand up. So, keeping the small bend in the knee, let's simply work on the hinge. Arms are down like you're holding 2 suitcases. Shoulder blades are back. Simply hinge. The minute you feel the stretch in your hamstrings, you stop, you come right back up. Squeeze from the glutes. Hinge and squeeze up. They call this a deadlift. Down and up. Pulling in from the center and simply bending only from the hips. So your knees stay the way they should be with small bend. And the only thing that moves is that hip joint. You have 4 more. And 3. Now 2. And hold here. Remember the retraction? Let's go. Squeeze the shoulder blades back in together. Full inhale, full exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now hold the retraction, elbows to the side. Tailbone is back, small bend in the knees, keeping your neutral spine, and aiming your elbows out to the sides. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Look back up to center. Now elbows right here into your sides. Again, small bend in the knee, and reach forward one at a time, working on the front of your shoulder. So here's the key. Even though you're extending your arm to the front, your shoulders still stay back and down. So think about that as you're moving. Full inhale, full exhale. 3 more. This is 2. And 1 more. And back to center. I'll turn sideways just so you can see me. Let's do our deadlift again. So the feet are hip distance, small bend in the knee. Remember, the hip joint is the only thing that bends. Shoulders are back and down. You're holding 2 suitcases, and hinge and up. Not too far. Simply the minute you feel you're stretching your hamstrings, that's enough. Then come up. Now, as you're coming up, think about squeezing your glutes. Bracing from your center. You have 4 and 3. Now 2 and 1. Excellent. Back to the front. One arm at a time. Both shoulders are down and back. Pulling in from the rib cage, keeping the chest up. And inhale one way, exhale the other. We have 4 more on both sides. This is 1. And reach. Here's 2. 3. And 1 more. And 4. Excellent. So now we're coming down to the floor. It's a great time to grab some water and set your mat up. Both feet are out, big deep breath. And as you exhale, hinge from the hips and hold. Deep breath. Exhale. 1 more, big deep breath. Exhale. Now cross one leg over, big deep breath. Exhale down, and And this time, use your right hand to lift the knee and rotate. And center. And again, rotate. Hinge to the front. One more time. And hold. And release. Other side. Crossing over, deep breath. Exhale and hinge. Knee up. Full inhale, full exhale. One more time. And release. So bring yourself over. Let's start in a plank position from your knees. So you're on your elbows, knees back up, and your goal is to create as much of a straight line, give or take, from the knees through the tip of the head. Now from here, balance your weight on both arms, and I want you to think about your left glute. So we're going to lift the glute, but I don't want you to think lift. What I'd like you to do is think contract. So contract the glute so that it lifts up off the floor, but you're not lifting intentionally. What you're doing is focusing on the contraction. Pulling in from your center, inhale and exhale. You have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the leg. Now, same thing. Balance your weight. Pull in from your center and contract the right glute so it comes up and off the floor. Focus on that contraction. 3 more. And 2. Now 1. Now lifting your body up to all fours and balancing your weight, starting with the left hand forward and the right leg back. So the first thing I want you to do is find your balance. Once you feel steady, then lift an inch up and an inch down. Taking your time so you don't feel like your body is wiggling all over the place. Pull in from the rib cage. Utilize your breathing as you work, and keep looking at the floor to line up your spine correctly. 3 more. And 2. Now 1. Lower down, other side. And lift up and down. Full inhale, full exhale. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Can we do this again? One more round. Start with your plank. Backing up the knees, lining up your body first, feeling very centered. Now focus on the left glute and contract and release. Contract. Pull in from your center and utilize your breath as your rhythm of movement. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Lower down the other side. Contract and release. Inhale and exhale. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Now back up to all fours. Again, balancing your weight. Left arm forward, right leg back. 1 inch up, 1 inch down. Keeping your body as steady as possible. So if you have to slow down from the music, that's okay. Last 3, 2, and 1. The other side. Line yourself up and up and down. Full inhale, full exhale. Keeping the rib cage engaged. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower back. I enjoy a good child's pose here and there. That's what we call this. Now, let's bring these weights out over to the side for a bit. We'll use those later. Now, coming down to the floor and lying all the way back. First, hug the knees into the chest. And now take both arms out to the sides. Knees are bent. And here's what I want you to think about. Think about your shoulders. Feel your shoulders connected to the floor. Now that is going to be your trigger. So the minute you feel like you can't hold the shoulders anymore, then you've gone too far. So the shoulders stay pressed against the floor. Now allow the legs to move to the right, but keeping the left shoulder down. And when you can no longer hold the left shoulder, stop. Pull in from your center and move those legs up and over to the left side. Same thing. Inhale one way, exhale the other. Deepening the breath. And keeping the shoulders connected to the floor. So keep your awareness there so that you know that the shoulders aren't moving. That dictates your range of motion. We're going to do 2 more on each side. 1 more. And bring yourself to center. Both feet come down, hands behind your head, and simply lift up your head about 1 inch off the ground. Now, feel the weight of your head in your hands and take your awareness over to your rib cage. Your ribs are going to be a little bit open. I want you to close your ribs inward into the center and then release. And as you close your ribs in, your upper body will lift naturally. So my hands are not pushing my head up. My hands are only holding the weight of my head. And the only thing that moves here is my rib cage going in and out. Full inhale, full exhale. Four more. And 3, 2, and 1. Come down, both arms go out. You remember the drill, both feet up. Now let's go to the side. So the left shoulder stays against the mat no matter what. And now squeeze in from the center and keep the right shoulder down. And each time the legs go over, it's as if you're just trying to go a little further, and you can as long as your shoulder stays on the floor. Will your feet ever go all the way down to the ground? Probably not. That's okay though, because we're working our abdominals, and that's the key here. Full inhale, full exhale. One more on each side. And back to center. Setting your feet down, hands behind the head. Allow your head to hover off the floor so you can feel the weight, 8 to 10 pounds in your hands, right there. Now move your awareness to your rib cage and squeeze the ribs together and release. It's as if the ribs go in and down and back open. Inhale one way, exhale the other. Deepening your breathing. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Knees into the chest. Lowering one leg and one heel up. So press your tailbone into the floor as your heel goes up. And now just stretch in and release. And again, stretch in. One more, keeping your tailbone on the floor. And release. The other side, leg goes up. And press in and release. One more time. And release right there. Turning yourself back over to all fours. And actually, this is another great time to grab some water. So here, your hands will go underneath your shoulders. Knees are back, so you're creating that straight line from the knees to the shoulders to the tip of the head. And we're going to start with our left arm. So the left arm is going to gently lower your body down and then lift right back up. Now notice my tailbone is still down so that I keep that neutral alignment in my spine, and the only thing that's moving is my arms lowering my body and pressing back up. Full inhale, full exhale. You're bracing from your center, keeping the rib cage engaged, and your body is very balanced and centered. 4 more, and 3, 2, last one, and sit back. And let's go from center. Guess what? We have one more set, but using the right arm this time. So place yourself in the same position, pull in from your center, and right arm leads. Keeping your spine at neutral, everything is aligned. And as the work gets harder, that's when you really put your focus on your center, bracing the rib cage in, all the way through the abdominals. 3 more. 2, and 1. And sit back. And release. So let's take our smaller weights again. You can sit any way you want. So you can have your feet out, they can be crossed any way you want. Elbows are into the sides. Shoulders are back and down. One arm at a time to the side. Full inhale, full exhale, and out. Deepening your breathing. Out and in. Reach out. Chest is tall, shoulders back and down. Three more on each side. And 2. And 1. And release. Now, keeping those by the sides, let's take our feet out. Think about sitting as evenly as you can. And if you feel like you're too far tucked under, I want you to prop your hips up on something. You could roll up your mat, you could use a yoga block, something to prop yourself up, and you'll sit up taller. Now toes are towards you, arms go out to the side. Now if I was holding a broomstick from my left and right hand and I can't bend from my shoulders, I would only be able to rotate from the very center of my body. That's what I want you to think about. So chest is up, shoulders back and down, rotate to the right, go as far as you can, and then hinge and reach. And rotate left, and hinge and reach. Rotate, and hinge and reach. Chest is up tall, shoulders stay back and down, and the shoulders are not moving here. They go along for the ride. What moves is the center of your body, and that in turn takes your shoulders and everything else with it. Rotate and reach. Full inhale, full exhale. One more on each side. And back to center. So once again, place your legs any way you feel comfortable with. We're going for one more round. Elbows into the side, one arm at a time to the side. Shoulders are both back and down. Pulling in from your center and breathing as you go. Reach and down. And even when you extend your arm out, your shoulders are still back and down. Full inhale, full exhale. Now we have 4 more on each arm. This is 4. And 3. Sit tall. 2. Last one. And 1. Okay, so these weights can go off to the side. We are done with them. Now both feet go out, sitting tall. Prop yourself up as needed. Chest is tall, both arms out, shoulders back and down. And now rotate to the left and hinge. And rotate to the right and hinge. Full inhale, full exhale. We have 3 more on each side. One more time. Excellent. Now feet come in about hip distance apart, deep breath. And from the hips, hinge forward and hold. Inhale. Exhale. Both legs into a butterfly. Big deep breath and exhale and hinge. Actually, it's not really a hinge. It's more like a shifting your weight forward kind of thing. Deep breath. Yeah, shift your weight forward. There you go. One more time. Big deep breath. Exhale. And release. So sitting any way you want. Let's take one arm across the chest and hold. Shoulders down and back as you're stretching the arm forward. And now from here, reach and give yourself a little bit of a twist, keeping both hips on the ground. Same arm reaches for your ear and ear to shoulder, pressing the right shoulder down. And release. The other side, arm comes across the chest and hold. Now give yourself a little bit of a twist. And same arm. Press over, pulling the shoulder down. And back up, both hands behind the head. Both hips are in the ground and rotate to the left, leading with your left elbow. And now rotate back to the center and go to the right. Lead with your right elbow. And back to center. So we're going to stretch our chin down to our chest, but on the way up, I want you to use your hands as resistance. So the chin goes to the chest, you can feel the stretch. And now use your hands for resistance as you're coming up. And again, chin to chest. Resist up, chin to chest. Resist up. One more time, chin to chest. And resist up and release. Shoulders come up, back, and around. Big circle. Inhale one way, exhale the other. And release, interlacing the fingers and stretch the hands forward. Release, and again, stretch this time. Arms come up. And release the arms nice and slow. Let's do that one more time. Stretch your hands. Arms come up. And release. And we are done. Thank you so much for joining me in class today. Go out there, drink plenty of water, and just keep the body